What's up, everybody? This is Cam Hand, the Fantasy Man, coming at you from my bedroom with our Week 8 recap. I got some really good stuff coming up that I think all you guys should be excited for. Got a lot of dabs, as always. I'm all just blown away. I think this week might be the most dabs ever. Maybe not, though. But let's fly through this. I have just a quick thing I wanted to run through because, as you all know, I lost my second week in a row, and it was very, very, very frustrating for me. So I just wanted to do a little scram bag, a little scram bag. I don't know if it's rankings. I just kind of wanted to vent on five people who I think are scram bags. Those of you who don't know, I don't know. Dylan said is the first person I've ever heard say call someone a scram bag, but it just is what it is. Don't really know how to define it. These guys, big time scram bags from Always Sunny. So that's how, if you want to think about it like that, that's fine. So scram bag number 5, Cooper Cup. Total complete scram bag. Has he helped me win a championship? Yes, he has. Did I draft him in the second round? Yes, I did. Was I super bummed when he came back and had a good game? I did. But what is it? 3 horrible games now? Like, what is going on? He's getting like outscored by Puka Nakua and like Tutu Atwell, and he's screwing me. I mean, scram bag. Next scram bag is Jimmy G and Josh McDaniels. I made this or typed this out before Josh McDaniels got fired, so I feel pretty good about my scram bag meter. But I watched the Monday Night Football game. I needed Jacoby Myers not to get a single catch to win. He got one catch with 7 minutes left in the game. But either way, that wasn't that. That's not why they're scram bags. They're scram bags because I have Devontae Adams. I gave up a lot for him in Dynasty, and I have to watch scram bag Jimmy G just get sacked every single time, which is partially his fault, partially Josh McDaniels' fault. There was only 2 catches the whole game from a receiver, one from Devontae Adams, one from Jacoby Myers. I think there was actually one catch, maybe 1 or 2 catches by Hunter Renfro. It's like, what are they doing? Like, if you guys watch the Monday night game, you're like, what are these scram bags doing? Like, horrible, just horrible. 3 is Dennis Allen, total scram bag. For those of you who don't know, head coach of the New Orleans Saints. I had Alvin Kamara last year. I was super pumped about him. Then I proceeded to watch Alvin Kamara get almost no catches per game. Go look at Alvin Kamara's stats last year. They didn't throw him the ball. They used him as like a 20 carries per game guy. Didn't throw him the ball. They would throw the ball to Mark Ingram, I believe, instead. Just a complete and total misuse of Alvin Kamara last year. He was horrible last year because of Dennis Allen's horrible coaching, horrible scheming. And so this year, I'm like, oh, well, they signed or they drafted Kendre Miller. They signed Jamal Williams, who was good last year for Detroit. They have another guy too, and I'm like, okay, Alvin Kamara is suspended for 6 games. Alvin Kamara was terrible because of this scram bag scheming last year. So I'm like, oh, Alvin Kamara is going to be bad. And then no. And then Dennis Allen is just like, oh, he's on Alex's team and Alex drafted him. Like, oh, okay, let's give Alvin Kamara 15 million touches and not use our rookie, not use the guy we paid to come in to be like our goal line back. Let's just give all the carries to Alvin Kamara this year and not last year. Scram bag. And I probably okay. Number 2, Trevor Lawrence, total scram bag. I drafted him. I was super pumped. I was like, "Oh man, he's going to be good," and he has absolutely screwed me this year. So sick of him. So sick of his ugly face. I would drop him right now if I had any better options, but there are no QBs out there. I'm honestly excited that I don't have to play him this week because he's on his bye. So I'm just so sick of him. And lastly, Will's BFF. Total scram bag. I'm not going to throw the names around anymore because you never know who's watching. I'm getting a lot of views on this, but there's a certain person that is Will's boy at soccer who likes to walk around with his shirt off all day, which is or all day at the soccer fields, but just It's weird. Everybody kind of sees it. They're like, why does he always have his shirt off? Like, what is that about? Last week, it just got taken to a new level. First of all, it was not hot out. It was like cool outside. And then I learned he didn't even play a game. Shows up at 11 o'clock for the first games, takes his shirt off, proceeds to not play any games the whole day, still keeps his shirt off, just walking around shirtless on the soccer field. Only person on the whole field with his shirt off, just walking around shirtless the whole day. It is the weirdest, most scrambaggy thing ever. And you guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, that's the only time I'm going to do that unless I'm really mad. I'm just really mad about these scrambags, Trevor Lawrence, Dennis Allen. Just, oh, yeah, let's give Kamara a million touches this year now that he's on Alex's team and we've drafted and paid other running backs. Like, that makes a lot of sense. Ugh, scrambags. Anyway, worst matchup this year, this week, Hunter versus Connor. Never really close. Best matchup was Greg versus Will. Big scoring. Matchup was intense. Major ramifications. Greg took a big leap forward. Will, bounced back a lot. So that was a big matchup, good matchup, close matchup. Worst injury luck is again Logan Kendrick Bourne tears his ACL out for the year. Josh Palmer, who was another bright spot on his team, got injured. And Debo was still injured. I said it in the chat, but someone needs to do an exorcism on both Logan and Ashton because they are so unlucky this year. Most unlucky, I'm going to give Ash. He had 152 in a loss. He lost Kirk Cousins for the year. He also had a Drake London injury. Also had to face a 30-point game from Gus Edwards. So pretty bad. I mean, 152 in a loss is not good at all. Feel bad for Ash. Luckiest is Alec. He put up 117 in a must-win game, and he played against a bunch of scrambags. That's a funny picture of Logan getting lucky there. Dumbest move was Ashton for starting Tank Dell over DK Metcalf. Maybe there's a reason. I don't know, but DK Metcalf has been good this year. Tank Dell has not been very good lately, and DK Metcalf well outscored Tank Dell, so that was pretty silly. Smart move. I'm going to give it to Sam because, played Gus Edwards, got a bunch of points from him. Sam's team's looking good, and I just think he needs to be acknowledged a little bit this week for having a good pickup. I know he didn't do it this week, but for just kind of making some good moves, like having a good draft and just playing well. His team looks really good. So smartest move to Sam. Best free agent move was me picking up Taysom Hill, who got me 24 points. I need to get rid of Jake Ferguson on that picture. That makes no sense. Cameron is my stock's falling, 2 losses in a row with a bunch of inconsistent scrambags. Amari Cooper, Nico Collins, Cooper Cup. Really, the only consistent people I have is Stephon Diggs and Taysom Hill now. So, stock falling on me, stock rising is Sam. I gave him stock rising last week, but I mean, 4 wins in a row, and just go look at his team. It looks really good. So, he's number 1 now, so that's huge. And then best player this week, Sam. Some nice plays, number 1 score. Give it to him. I already know whenever I talk well about somebody, I get a bunch of texts like, what, like, how's your arm feel? Does your hand hurt from just loving on Sam too much? Sam, you are obsessed with Sam. It's like, come on, guys. I got to give props. Last week or maybe a week or 2 ago, I gave props to Connor, and I got a bunch of trash talk for it. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but best player, Sam. Worst player, Alec. I don't care that he beat me. He had the 3rd lowest score. He beat me by 1 point. Doug had 113, and he's terrible. I mean, he's starting 2 tight ends every week. He's just terrible. He doesn't do anything good. He's just getting super lucky. So I'm giving Alec worst player. Don't care that he beat me by 1 point, and that Doug, I think, had 113, and Alec had like 117. So that's ridiculous. I'm going to give Logan the dog this week. Pulled out a close must-win game against all the odds versus Dylan. He had 2 injuries. He had Palmer get injured. He also had Bourne go the ACL tear, and he slapped Dylan around. And I just think Logan deserves the dog. He's gone through a lot this season, and I felt like he had a good amount of dog this week talking to him. So my rankings, I'm gonna not really harp on this because I got a lot of dabs to get through. But Sam going up to number one's big. Greg going up to number three is big. Me dropping one spot. Hunter going up with a big win. You see what it is. Ashton moving down, even though that's not really fair. But I don't really love Ashton's team, but he puts up a lot of points and just is getting unlucky. But um, anyway, next week's worst matchup: Alec versus Bobby. Who cares? Nobody's going to talk about that. Yuck. I do predict Alec will win with like 109 points because that's how his season's going. Best matchup is me versus Doug. One of the bigger rivalries in the league. Sort of a must win for me. I do predict Doug will win because I think Doug, looking at his team, he's got a good team. I mean, Doug's team is good. It's better than mine. And I've been right about me losing every single week so far, so might as well just keep that going. All right, season segments. So I told Will and Hunter and Logan about this. I am starting a segment where the league can give me dabs, but I'm only doing 10 dabs or 10 like scenarios where I could have gotten dabs. Because if not, then you guys are just giving me like a million, and that's going to take this video will be like 45 minutes long. So if you want to give me dabs, text it to Logan, and then Logan will text me the list by Wednesday. And I told Logan he's going to be mad. He's like, "You didn't tell me you were making the video." Well, I told Logan to get it to me, basically by now. I'm not waiting for him. I'm not going to sit here and wait to read my dabs off. So next week, if you guys want to give me dabs, tell Logan. Logan needs to get them to me before, Wednesday afternoon or, basically Wednesday afternoon because that's when I filmed the video. So this will be a good segment going forward. I'll respond to the dabs, but someone's got to get them into me. All right, so here we go. That's a lot of dabs going on here. Maybe it's not. I mean, it might not be the most ever, but it's up there. But let's run through it. Will's seeing this right now in the video going, "What, me?" Anyway, but you'll see. So it always hurts my voice going through this, but Khan for asking about something that had just happened at midnight. Khan asking about what I'm talking about here, three dabs for Connor, is Connor asked, it was like right after the Monday night game finished at like 11:30. He was like, "Can we talk about like no one's gonna talk about how bad Jimmy G is or something like that?" And it's like, dude, like it just happened. And it's like 12 o'clock. Like everybody's asleep. Let me actually look what exactly he said because it was dabs. It was dabs. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Oh my gosh, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Connor. This actually goes to Alec. I got that mixed up. Alec says at like right after the game finished and like the standings update, is no one going to talk about Hunter's team somehow being in playoffs? It's like what? Like it was. I'm not getting into it. It was just stupid. It was just like, dude, well, that just happened. Like, it was just stupid. So three dabs to Alex. Sorry about that, Connor. Logan for not riding with Zach Moss. One dab. Logan is super. He just got robbed with his guys, and he just won't do it with Zach Moss. He's scared to play Zach Moss. Meanwhile, Zach Moss is like the third best running back in the league. Logan for peeing off of Hunter's deck. Three dabs. I got a text from both Hunter and Will. They said that Logan came over to Hunter's house to watch the Sunday night football game. He walks in, he's like, "Yeah, I really got to go pee." And instead of just going to the bathroom that's right there, he goes outside and pees off the deck. So that's three dabs. I mean, I get it. I also like peeing off decks sometimes, but I gotta give it to I request a dab. So um Logan for taking forever to get to the foosball table. We were playing foosball as always on Sunday. He took forever, and then we had to play without him. One dab. Logan for all the own goals he scores in foosball. Three dabs. Every game we play in foosball, Logan will score at least one own goal, and so that's just got to be talked about. Logan for keeping a list of Logan for keeping a girls list on his phone. Two dabs. It came out the other day that Logan has a list on his phone about, we'll just say, all the girls that he's dated. We'll say that he keeps a list so he doesn't forget. So that's awkward. I also didn't mention this, but Logan again went over to Hunter's on Sunday. Logan for getting Freya and Chloe mixed up, probably one dab. Now I wasn't there, so I don't know if he did that, but I'm pretty confident that Chloe and Freya ran up to him. He picked up Chloe and was like, "Hey, Freya," and he got it wrong again. So I feel pretty confident that that had happened, that he mixed up the two dogs for the millionth time, but can't prove it. Boom. Logan for getting defensive with the watch dabs, 6 dabs. So I threatened to give Logan dabs because he spent $250 on a watch. I just thought that was lame. He got very defensive. Logan for not getting on his man duties, 4 dabs. Logan and Riley, I told 2 weeks ago to get the ball rolling on this whole cruise thing and start texting people, making sure people are going to get their passports. To my knowledge, neither of them have done it. So that should probably be more dabs because that's really important. I need them to do it, and they're not getting it done. Um, Me for getting excited about the possibility of winning, 4 dabs. When I saw that Jacoby, it was like halftime and Jacoby Myers didn't have a catch, I was like, oh my gosh, I could win this, but I should have known garbage time. Jacoby Myers going to get a catch. He ended up with 1 catch, and Alec beat me by 1 point. Me for being excited about drafting Trevor Lawrence, 8 dabs. We've been over it. He's a scram bag. Hunter for being super mean about the thought of me subbing in soccer, 8 dabs. So I'll just give the little story on this. Hunter and Will's team and the A League team, they needed a sub. They just got some rando to play with them, and the rando wasn't very good, I guess. So Doug was trying to get me to come in. He was like, Cameron, like, you go in instead of this rando. And Hunter, you should have seen him on the side. Hunter was like, oh, no, no, no. Cameron is not going in. No, no, it's not happening, guys. No, Cameron cannot go in this game. No. And then I was like, he was like so mean about me not going in the game. And I was like, okay, like I didn't even, that you're talking to, like, I didn't say I should go in. Somebody else said I did. I wasn't even going to go in ever. Anyway, but then right after Hunter was like super mean about the thought of me going into the game. And then he was like, well, it's not me who doesn't want you to go in. It's Will. Will's the one who doesn't want you to go in, which is true. Will doesn't want me to go in, but Hunter clearly didn't want me to go in. It's like if it'd be like I was like, someone passed the ball to Hunter, and then I was like, oh my god, no way, Hunter cannot get the ball past him. He's so bad, no. And then I was like, but that's I'm not saying that. It's Will that thinks he's bad, not me. It was just crazy. So he was just lying about Will not wanting me to sub when in reality he clearly didn't want me to sub in. I'm not gonna hit on this too much, but Hunter was super mad about his dabs last week, so I'm gonna give him 6 dabs for that. Hunter for being inaccurate about a few details regarding his dabs last week, 2 dabs. Hunter for saying McCaffrey isn't that guy. That should probably be 5 dabs, but I put 3 dabs. Logan texted me and told me that Hunter doesn't think McCaffrey's that guy. He is that guy. Hunter for saying he's too exhausted to watch Monday Night Football, 3 dabs. He said that to Logan. Logan told me. Logan said he asked Hunter to watch the game over at Hunter's house, and Hunter was like, nah, I'm too tired to sit on the couch and watch this football game. 3 dabs. Will for bowling while on the phone with Bobby, 2 dabs. We went bowling. Instead of just putting the phone down for a second or hanging up on Bobby, of all people, he just bowled while on the phone. Will for complaining about not getting past 2 in soccer. Um, New development for me, but I guess he's always had this. Will has a thing where he feels like he never gets the ball. And in soccer, he's like, why am I always the one in soccer who doesn't get the ball past me? It's like, dude, I watch you play soccer. You have the ball a lot. So let's not get this whole thing going on where you never get the ball. But the reason Will doesn't get the ball is because our team is not very good. Our B League team is not good, and so it's hard for us to get him the ball. So don't we're not purposely not getting him the ball. Not to mention he was getting the ball last week, so I don't want to hear it. I passed to him, Riley passed to him. He's getting the ball. 7 dabs. Will for saying dabs are irrelevant. 10 dabs. Will for meeting a girl on World of Warcraft. 6 dabs. Now I don't really remember this conversation, but apparently it happened because I wrote it down. But apparently, Will said he met a girl on World of Warcraft, so that's 6 dabs. Will said the girl that he met on World of Warcraft was cool, 2 dabs, because that's impossible. Will apparently also said the statement, I was playing Fortnite with my online friend the other night. That's 4 dabs. I was playing Fortnite with my online friend the other night. And then he told a story, 4 dabs. Will for giving up on a girl, thinking he can't pull it off, 3 dabs. Got more confidence in that. Greg for admitting to tanking in Dynasty. Greg for the way he admitted to tanking. Um, the story behind this one is Greg didn't start one of his best players, Derrick Henry, in Dynasty, and everybody's like, "Why are you? You know, that's a clear tank move." And to defend himself, first he comes in and he's like, "Well, I didn't think he'd be on my team." Because I traded him, I thought he'd, go away, whatever. So it's like, okay, I guess that's kind of an excuse. And then he was like, also, he's playing against Atlanta, a good run defense, so I didn't really want to play him. And you're like, okay, like that in theory makes sense, but still, like your other options are worse than Derrick Henry. Like just because he's playing against a good D doesn't mean you wouldn't play him. He's like your best player. Um, and then eventually, and then like 30, and he's like, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Once I saw that Bobby was playing 3 tight ends and Bobby was tanking, I was like, well, I'm not gonna play my best players. So it's like, I don't know if it makes sense, but it's basically like, yeah. So I didn't play him because I didn't think he'd be on my team. I didn't, and he was playing a good defense, and then he was like, and also I didn't want to play him because Bobby was playing wasn't playing his best lineup, and I was like, okay, so you basically just admitted to tanking because like the real reason you didn't play him was because you didn't want to play your best lineup, and you admitted to that eventually. So anyway, 8 dabs total for that whole situation. Ashton for wearing wife beaters, 4 dabs. Somehow that came up in conversation this week is that Ashton wears wife beaters, so that's dabs. Greg for getting rattled when I did the clown emoji for McBride. Um, Greg picked up Trey McBride. I did the little clown emoji just randomly because I thought it might be funny. I don't think that was a bad move. And the first thing he says to me when he sees me on set, he's like, "Why did you give me the clown emoji for the McBride pickup? Like, what? What's wrong with that?" And I was like, "Dude, I was just joking with you." Alec for not coming to soccer, 5 dabs. Connor for his love for Julio Jones, 5 dabs. Bobby for tanking when he doesn't have a first, 9 dabs. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I really don't want to put dynasty dabs in here, but Bobby tanking when he doesn't have his first round pick is just nuts. Bobby for calling out Greg for tanking by exposing himself for tanking in Dynasty is 8 dabs. Basically, Bobby said, I think Greg needs to be investigated because I beat him when I was tanking. That is essentially what he said. He said, Greg's tanking because I'm winning and I'm tanking. So therefore, Greg's tanking. So Bobby just exposed himself for tanking while calling out Greg for tanking. It was crazy. 8 dabs. I'm not going to get into it anymore. But Bobby for being named Lil Slippy and having a picture of mac and cheese and nugs as his pick. 5 dabs. Why is his name Lil Slippy? Why is his profile picture just a plate of macaroni, cheese, and chicken nuggets? It's so dumb. Tyler for posting snaps of ice baths, 2 dabs. Tyler Hood is posting a lot of Snapchats of him in the ice bath. And look, I'm all about ice baths. I don't know if it's something you should put on your story, but maybe you could send those videos to Logan. He's a big ice bath guy, but I just thought he deserved some dabs for that. So tell him about that, Greg. Um, but ultimately, dab leader of the week is Will. Because of the dabs irrelevant thing, I had to punish him. And then the whole thing with meeting a girl on World of Warcraft and playing Fortnite, it just was a dab week. But I will give Hunter most annoying because he got so angry about the dabs on Monday, or on whatever Wednesday. He was crazy when the thought had been thrown out there that, oh, maybe Cameron could play 5 minutes in our game to help us out. He was like, no way that can happen. And then right after he felt bad, so he was like, oh, but he blamed Will. Will's the one who doesn't want you to play, not me. It's like, okay, well, you just basically, punched me right in the face when anyway, you guys get it. So there we go. Not going with that. Don't have any TikToks. Okay, random rankings is really good this week. We got Tracy ranking costumes. Tracy, coworker. I sent her a picture of all these costumes I could find. And this is what she did. She liked Greg's at 9. Greg isn't on here, but it's when he's like an alien or something. Bobby, wow. I guess do I not have Bobby's picture on here? Bobby had atrocious. It's going to be the little picture for this video, the thumbnail. So that's Bobby's costume. But Tracy liked it. 9 out of 10. Will 8 out of 10 with that picture of him in the cat as a cat. Doug 7 out of 10 when he was a Jedi. Hunter 6 out of 10 with the Napoleon Dynamite. Dill 5 out of 10 with that. Logan 5 out of 10 with that. Andrew 4 out of 10 with that. I put Andrew in there because I didn't have a picture of like two of you guys, so I just put Andrew in there because I had that picture. Me 4 out of 10. It's just a stupid thing. Young Hunter right here 4 out of 10. Phenomenal picture. I think he got robbed there. And then Ash, 3 out of 10 with whatever that is. Bryce, coworker, pickup basketball. This is a guy that I used to work with who was a college basketball player essentially. And I asked him, I was like, hey, if all these people were standing on a line, who would you pick first and who would you pick last? So he would pick me up first, probably because he knows me and he knows I'm just that guy. Dylan with that picture, number 2. Will with just a normal picture of him, number 3. I guess Will looks like he can ball. Hunter, number 4. I mean, that's a good picture of Hunter, so I get it. Hunter looks like he's got some like point guard attributes there. Greg just looks like an athlete in that pickleball picture. Logan 6, Alex 7. It's an Alec picture of him in the Hawks uniform. Bobby 8, Doug there 9, Ash 10, Connor 11, Sam 12. Who you'd pick up in basketball? Next, we got Hunter. We got a little guest appearances from Hunter. This is who would get abused the most in prison. That just basically like who would get a boyfriend, who would have like a really bad time physically in prison. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, a little Andy Dufresne vibes. Hunter thinks that Logan would just getting taken to Pound Town in prison. I agree with him. Doug, Doug would be getting have a rough time. Will also big time, whatever. He's going to be someone's boyfriend. Ashton 4, Connor 5, Sam not doing too well. Bobby looks like I could see Bobby like under a guy's arm or something in prison. Hunter 8. I find it semi alarming that Hunter put himself at 8, but that's honesty. Alec 9, super pumped 10. I'm not getting nobody's touching me in prison. Greg and Dylan at the bottom, and we also have a picture of Hunter in a bathtub there. Don't drop the soap. You know what I'm saying. All right, worst terrorist negotiators coming from Hunter again. Basically, the number one is the person he would least want to be negotiating, like a bomb. Like there's like a bomb threat, or someone's like, "Hey, like put the negotiator on the phone, or I'm going to blow up this building." Like, who would you least want? So Logan, he would least want. There's Logan. I mean, look at him. Alec, obviously, Doug 3, Ashton 4, Bobby 5. Not doing good there. Greg 6, Connor 7, me 8. Hey, Hunter's hyping me up a little bit. I like it. Will 9. I guess Will. Then you get to Will, Hunter, Dylan, Sam. I guess Sam would be the best negotiator. So that's good. Last but not least, we have Andrew's girlfriend, who most of you know, or most of you know his girlfriend, most of you know Andrew. Her name's Maria Daniela. She's from Venezuela. She's probably watching this video right now because I hear she's a new fan. So thank you, Maria Daniela. And her co-workers, primarily her, I'm assuming, came up with a list. I sent pictures. Maria knows some of us. She thinks I told her, or I told Andrew to tell her who would do the best with the Latinas, who would clean up best with Latinas, who do Latinas like the most. So Hunter's hype, and I also have her like notes here. So Hunter number 1, and she says he's short but cute, and he wants a Latina girlfriend. I don't know if that's true that he wants a Latina girlfriend, but apparently I'm sure Andrew told him that for that.
Number 2, Bobby, Saturday Brothers going strong. He's a veteran, and he also wants a Latina girlfriend. So I guess Latinas like the veterans. Greg, he is good-looking guy, looks polite, and is tall. 3. Greg, I hate to break it to you, Maria Daniela, he's not that tall. Dylan, number 4, he's tall. Me, number 5, good guy, appreciate that. Then Doug and Will, 6 and 7, no explanation. Logan's number 8, it's he gets mad a lot, and Latinas don't put up with that. I understand that. Alec looks like he's a white person wannabe. 9, 10 is Connor, no explanation. 11 is Sam, and then 12 is Ashton. He looks like a stoner. That's what she said. And I'm kind of buying it. I mean, it doesn't help Ash that I use this picture of him again. I just love that picture. But so that's what we got. Latino ratings, good stuff. This is probably my first 30-minute video of the week. But I just had to get those Scram Bag rankings out. But yeah, appreciate it, and let's wrap.